Hey guys, this is part two of the video I just shot earlier. So, um, this event we went to be honest, I'm gonna offend some people, but the quality of fighters are not very good, and in the sense that they aren't trained properly, and also they're really, really out of shape. And so a lot of these fighters, win or lose, they want to fight again and again and again. The problem is they're so concerned about the event versus the process. And what I mean by that is the process is like, let's just say, what you need to do so that you have a certain product or a certain athlete, right? And the event is the showcase of that product or that athlete. And a lot of times people who are very superficial or lack insight are so concerned about the event versus the process. And what I mean by that is, let's just say you're an MMA fighter and you don't have, and your friends and relatives are so excited for you showcasing your fight that day, but they're unwilling to sponsor you or give you money or make sure that you're on your diet or make sure you're well fed or make sure you have gas in your car so you can get to training regularly. Or for this matter, let's just say you're a fighter and all you talk about is fighting and you buy the latest gear. That's an event. In your mind's getting stimulated. Your mind thinks it's so awesome to buy this latest gear. But you don't show up to train. You show up just on time and you leave just when class is over. You don't stay behind and try to get extra training. You don't beg or barter or ask your instructor, can I clean the gym in exchange for extra training? Like you just don't, you know what I mean? I have a couple of fighters like that, and I had to eventually ask them not to fight for me or kick them out of my gym because for them, that day of the event is so much more important than for them doing the process, putting the time in, right? And so a couple of things that are huge tattletale sign that you're more concerned about the event versus the process. And one of them is if you are extremely overweight. You know, like if you're overweight and you lack muscle, especially for a very competitive sport like MMA or a combat sport, you are putting yourself at a disadvantage. You are not just losing, you're not just fighting your opponent now, you're fighting your body. So on the day of the fight, your body is unwilling to do what your mind wants to do. Okay? Number two, if you are training diligently, pushing your mind and body, that means on the day of the event, your mind is so used to getting pushed already, right? So now you just have to manifest that against your opponent. So if you are too lazy to lift weight, if you're too lazy to get in the gym to train, if you're too lazy to grapple, hit the pads all the time, if you hit the pads and grapple all the time, your body will get in really good shape. And then if you want to get even more competitive, start lifting weight. Those and then have better nutrition. Those things alone will help you slowly get to that journey. But if you refuse to do those things and you just show up and fight, you're basically someone's punching bag, right? And you learn nothing from it. Literally, you learn nothing from it. And Sun Tzu said that if your victory is by chance, it's no good. It's a meaningless victory. Your victory has to be by thought, by insight, by strategy, by tactic. So you got to really look at your process and you got to look at your lifestyle. Like, is my lifestyle and my process are congruent? In other words, are you going to bed early enough so that you can get up early enough to go to the gym and train versus staying up all night doing like shit, doing like watching TV, watching Netflix, whatever, and then you're too tired to go to the gym and work out? You know what I mean? This is why if you cannot get up early, then prepare the stuff the night before. That means you eliminated all your distraction. You're forced to, instead of watching TV, you're preparing your meal, you're getting your workout clothes, you're making sure your car has gas, you're making sure your lunch is packed and everything. Put it on the fridge, and in the morning you have time to do what you need to do, and you got to do it over and over and over again. Because if you don't, and somebody else is willing to do that, pay the price, on the day of the fight, their chance of winning is much, much higher. Too often people lose and they're like, they throw this tantrum and they just can't understand why they lost. People lose all the time. But if you look at the process and you say, you know what, I lost because I didn't do step one, step two, step three, step four, step five, then you deserve to lose. You know, there's a story of, don't don't quote me on this. I'll look it up. But it's about a blacksmith not putting on the proper horse shoes on a horse, and therefore it made that army lose the war. So it's the little thing. It's the little thing. Now, are you able to maintain? Are you able to control every little thing in your life? No, but at least control. Be the master of your own domain. Master of your own time, master of your own personal space, master of people who come into your life. What I mean? You gotta master little things. Master your body. Master your ability to think about hardship. Um, so what I do is I train little kids to compete all the time. I teach them martial art, and I watch. And some girls and some boys too. The minute things do not go the way, they start. The first couple of words is I can't, and then they start having that thing called internal dialogue. They start describing what's happening to them and why they cannot do it. So they're looking for validation of why things will fail. And if you catch yourself doing that, you gotta stop. Okay, I do that sometimes, and I catch myself. I'm like, shit, I better stop, right? And because when you make excuses or when things don't go your way, and things will collapse, right, and you will fail. But if you constantly try to push through and find solutions, it may not be successful, but your mind is creating different pathways. Your mind is branching out there. You're allowing your mind to branch. It's like a tree root that does not have water. The root just keeps on digging to the ground, looking for the water, looking for water, so the root gets longer and longer and thicker because it's constantly looking for water for the tree. If the tree has water all the time and they don't grow that deep root, and all of a sudden there's a huge drought, the top has so much, um, you know, leaves and stuff. It's so top heavy, but the bottom is so weak, the tree will just die so quick. So a good tree should have really, really deep root, right? And then when it's tough season, the tree will survive. So this is what you need to do. You need to have deep, deep root. You need to have deep root, that the way you think about life, the way you think about problems. Because if you don't, and you enter into a very competitive arena, it can be business, martial art, especially martial art that involves fighting. You will be quickly exposed.